Chapter 447, Primal Chaos City. Within the large hall, none of the 1,000 geniuses dared to make a sound against such an intimidating undying. It felt almost like a mountain pressing down on you. Against this purple-scaled man who seemed like he was there physically, yet not at all, it was completely different. He wasn't intentionally pressuring them at all. It was simply his natural aura. It naturally made others respect him. That was life submitting itself. Stop. A thunderous roar resounded from outside, entering within the universe ship interior and eventually resounding throughout the entire ship. Feeling this level of pressure, all the geniuses were shocked still. As they were only a bunch of star levels with some that have broken through to the universe level, they were simply helpless. Against such great beings, if they didn't control their auras, probably just a look would make their souls crumble. Geniuses were after all just geniuses, they weren't truly strong yet. Their path had just begun. "It's me, open the universe pathway," the purple-scaled man said indifferently. His voice passed through the universe ship and reverberated even outside. Rumble. A low rumbling came from outside and the ship continued its path. This is really uncomfortable. Not right. The 1,000 geniuses had gone pale, even Luo Feng felt his head ache badly and it started to throb. He tried hard to keep his eyes open, yet he couldn't even see his surroundings clearly. We are currently within the pathway between the actual universe and the primal universe. The purple-scaled man looked at the group of pale youths, some even falling to the ground. The primal universe and the actual universe have different time flows, hence creating a chaotic time flow within this pathway. This will make you all uncomfortable for a while. Of the 1,000 youths, only about 300 of them could barely stand. I can't see clearly anymore. Luo Feng fought hard to keep his eyes open. Wow, Luo Feng, this is the legendary universe pathway. The chaotic time flow actually feels this way. Even I, a living AI, feel kind of weird. Haha, it's too mystical, simply too mystical. Babata, however, was incomparably excited. These chances are extremely rare. After about 5 or 6 minutes, the feeling passed. Luo Feng regained his full consciousness. Luo Feng looked around, discovering that many were lying on the ground, their expressions pale, and some even had tears flowing out. Following which, they all began to climb back up, brushing off their tears and regaining their composure. Right now, we've already entered the primal universe. The purple-scaled man smiled. Primal universe? We've already reached the primal universe? The geniuses from many universe countries were all filled with curiosity. Even the 10 undyings that came along with the purple-scaled 9-blade knight, their eyes were filled with anticipation as they started looking around. Open the top, the purple-scaled man said. Chi-chi, the large metallic roof actually automatically opened above the hall, revealing a transparent glass outer layer. Immediately, the top of the hall became transparent and everyone looked up to look through that layer towards the outer world. Luo Feng raised his head too. With one glance, he discovered that there was a dark aura floating about outside. Some energy flowed above them. In the distance, he could barely make out the lands and skies splitting apart. Even large amounts of engravings flowing through these splits in spaces, threads weaving in and out, with engravings floating all about, almost like a loom slowly rebuilding and growing the land and skies further. This is? Luo Feng felt a space split open in the distance with crystal-like threads flowing within, which were filled with engravings. Even the 10 undyings kept looking up, occasionally closing their eyes to ponder and then opening to observe again. The ship continued to move forward. They frequently saw spaces splitting apart and the peculiar threads of engravings. Stars and planets all have their own lifespans. This universe too has its own lifespan, only that it's incredibly long. The purple-scaled man smiled. This primal universe is a new universe belonging to when a universe is in its beginning stages. During this period, the universe will constantly improve itself and form anew. Hence the universe origin laws will be flowing about and will be very obvious to the eyes. The universe space splits will continue to regrow and recover. Even the flowing energy flows all contain within them the origin laws. Luo Feng and the rest of the 1,000 all listened wide-eyed and stunned. The crystal threads that rebuilt the splits all over, these large amounts of threads with engravings were all the universe origin laws energy flow? The actual universe in which we live in is incomparably vast, huge, and perfect. The purple-scaled man said, and because it's perfect, we cannot easily see the energy flow. Hence comprehension is much harder. However, in the primal universe, the naked eye can easily spot such energy flows. You've all seen how perfectly the different laws work together, how the universe forms and the law energy flows. Since everything can be seen with your eyes, the comprehension here is much easier. The name list for the primal universe is incomparably valuable. The purple-scaled man said, glancing at the 10 undyings. The 10 undyings all continued to look up, obviously treasuring every bit of time. Close. The purple-scaled man said. The roof immediately sealed up. Actually, just from looking at the splits in space and the threads of engravings about, Luo Feng understood that the virtual simulation couldn't simulate something like this, because these engravings were meant to be felt and not just seen. Relying just on technology to simulate it wasn't enough. If it could be simulated, then there would be no need to even enter the primal universe. In a while, we will arrive at Primal Chaos City. The purple-scaled man said, the Primal Chaos City is where the participants within the primal universe train and live. You are all under me. I hope to see all of you alive in 30 years. We can die here? There's danger? Luo Feng and the others were suspicious. Remember, after entering Primal Chaos City, first listen to the person receiving you, listen clearly to the rules. Oh, we've arrived. The purple-scaled man said, and the universe ship's speed began to slow down. This large fish began its travel through this vast universe space. In the short time since the roof closed, the large fish had flown to an ancient city in the air. Its stomach portion cabin door opened and the 1,000 geniuses flew out. Following which the door closed and the large fish waved its tail and immediately disappeared into the distance. The feeling of this primal universe sure is special. This feels really comfortable. Right, extremely comfortable. A group of youths stood in mid-air. Luo Feng looked down at the ancient majestic city. As a city built within the primal universe itself, it gave off an aura of profoundness. In the distance a black light flew over. Attention all, I am the receiver of Primal Chaos City. A low voice resounded. A black-robed man flew over, following which he stopped and smiled. His head was filled with green scales. This city is called Primal Chaos City. Its time in existence is even longer than many of your universe countries themselves. Right now it's governed by the Virtual Universe Company, Huge Axe Dojo, Universe First Bank, Universe Galaxy Bank and the Universe Mercenaries altogether. Vist Envelben.cm for new updates. Silence. The 1,000 youths looked at this receiver of Primal Chaos City. Follow me." The receiver smiled and flew down. The 1,000 people flew downwards and landed in the streets of the city. The pathway allowed up to a few tens of people to form a line. The Primal Chaos City has been around for a very long time. The receiver walked ahead, explaining as he walked, among the participants that come to Primal Chaos City, many absolute beings have already been produced. Luo Feng looked around. This city had many buildings around, and on the balconies of these buildings there were many human-like people sitting crossed-legged. Some were drawing several things on the grounds, strong auras from all over, much stronger than sector lords, some even muttering things from their mouths. Luo Feng looked up at the sky. In the sky above, close to one of the universe splits, he could make out undyings all around it floating about. Occasionally these beings even looked down at Luo Feng's group. Another group of punks have arrived. It's receiver number 11, those are the punks from the Virtual Universe Company. I heard that among the Virtual Universe Company's batch, there's someone called Bolin, he's not bad. Beside that universe split, a few great beings floated and chatted. Luo Feng and their group of youths, they were all very low profile. They could feel that there were many undyings around. And these undyings were all being conservative, not daring to release their auras at all. However, within the city there were 10 absolute energy flows that were simply heavenly, even Luo Feng could clearly feel them. Just like 10 absolute ferocious beasts, stationed at different locations within Primal Chaos City. There are many absolute beings within Primal Chaos City. The receiver turned and said, "Don't ever go disturb any of them when they are studying the origin laws. The moment you disturb them, I can only send you out of the primal universe and end your participation." The group nodded. The receiver immediately entered an empty building beside. There are many buildings within Primal Chaos City. If the doors are white, it means there's no one is living there. The receiver pointed at a large door. As long as you place your hand on the surface of the door's system will automatically activate and cause it to change to a dark gray. You'll then become the building's owner, and it'll automatically record your signal. Everyone can only choose one living quarter. After which, he walked up to the balcony. The balcony was pretty huge, as the length and width were close to 100 m, enough to stand 1,000 people. This is. Luo Feng looked at the many pictures engraved on the surface of the balcony. Many of them were mysterious and peculiar. This, Luo Feng looked carefully, getting lost in the engravings. Many youths too were completely immersed within. Space origin laws. This has been infused with space origin laws. Many youths shouted out. Attention all. The receiver's voice entered everyone's minds. All their souls were immediately awoken. Primal Chaos City has many generations of countless absolute beings sitting on the balconies and studying. During their progress, they occasionally draw and carve as well. Hence they've left behind many of their thoughts and origin law studies. If you have interest in them, a good half of Primal Chaos City is vacant right now. You can go from balcony to take a look. You never know, you might find some comprehension engravings of some knights from the past. The group of youths' eyes gleamed. Let me first tell you all a very important rule. The receiver emphasized, within the primal universe, any human against human killing is strictly forbidden. Whoever makes a move will be punished and killed without a doubt. Understood. The group of youths nodded. The primal universe compared to the actual universe has a time ratio of 1 minute and 3.28 seconds. The black-robed receiver laughed. Your participation time in here this round is a little more than 30 years.